she woke up and needed to tell her surgeons this, because it goes in 3 different parts. So first, she says she woke up in the operating room, first by sound, which they were like, that's really strange, because the only sound, 1, you shouldn't be hearing sound, but 2, if you did, your ears had the da-da-da-da-da noise going on, right? But that's not what she heard. She heard the sound of a saw, and she saw a saw cutting into her brain. She said it looked just like my electric toothbrush, she said, which is what those saws actually look like. It's not like an actual saw that we're used to seeing. It's like a mechanical saw that does make a noise like a saw, but it can look a little bit like an electronic toothbrush, supposedly. So she said that's what she first woke up to while she was in the operating room, okay? Then she got sight, which is impossible because first off, her brain was shut down. Second off, her eyes were taped down. She saw the operating room and she said she looked like she was looking from where the surgeon was. So she was like almost like on the surgeon's shoulders. She could see her body there. Didn't bother her, didn't scare her. She saw all the utensils they were using. She heard them talking about her arteries because they were going in through her femoral arteries. And she heard someone say, the right one's too small. And she heard someone else say, okay, let's go into the left, which is exactly what happened and exactly what was said. The surgeons are already mind blown because of the things that she's saying. Now, the second part is the more, what we'd say, like mystical part, right? At first, it's just, you know, mouth dropping because she is basically describing all these things that she shouldn't be able to describe. She somehow has had consciousness outside of her body telling the surgeons that she was there and she knows what they did and she was accurate in what she was saying. Okay, so that's one, strange. Then she says she could see a little peak of light coming from somewhere and she turned around and started following that light. The more she was following that light, the more it basically engulfed her and made her feel peaceful and happy and like, you know, like home, like she was glad to be there. Then she started sensing people who have already died before her. I believe she saw, I think it was her dad and her uncle, and then other people who, some people she didn't recognize, some people she did, but all of them she was happy to see and she like knew she knew them somehow, okay? She did remember asking the people there, is the light God? And they said something like, no, it's not God. Something like the thoughts of God, and basically God is in us all, we are all connected, was like the message, right? So it was a beautiful feeling. She loved being there. She definitely did not want to go back, but she was told that it wasn't her time and that she had to go back. And then I believe it was either her uncle or her dad, I think it was her uncle, that brought her back into the operating room. Okay, so now her and her uncle are back in the operating room and she's looking at herself, and she did not want to go back into her body. She somehow intuitively knew, which she said they didn't talk with their mouths, but they could kind of just telepathically talk. She somehow intuitively knew that, oof, I don't want to go back in that body. It's gonna hurt and I don't want to do it. And it was basically like her uncle kind of like convincing her, like, it's gonna be okay, just go back, just go back. And then she said her uncle pushed her back into her body. And then she, you know, woke up later in the recovery room talking, you know, knowing what she had experienced.